Hello, welcome to Yard Talk. I'm your host, Doug LaForce. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to focus inside the hub, and we're going to talk to some very hardworking individuals and let them share about what their job is, their responsibilities, and maybe learn a few things about them personally. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming to work. Thank you for doing your job. Without you all doing your job on the inside in this facility, there's no the way that the feeder department or the package car drivers, they can't do their job. So a big thank you to everyone. If you'd be so kind, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your current position here?
My name is Heather, and I am the hazmat responder for the twilight shift. I also do rewrap, and I basically, when stuff is damaged, I damage it out and send it back or, dispose of it. I rewrap stuff that gets ripped up, packages that get ripped up or whatever, because sometimes, packages sometimes get wet or something, so I have to rebox them or they get ripped up. And that's basically it. And I clean up spills like diesel or gas spills in the yard, or spills, leaking packages being loaded or unloaded. And
now you said hazmat as well. So are there special things that you have to look for in that? I mean, do you have special gear to?
Oh yeah, we have aprons and gloves, and we have sleeve protectors. We have boots. We have the whole 9 yards. We do not have the SCBA in this building. They have it at other buildings. We still have to get certified in that, even though we don't have it in this building.
Okay.
We have to go, when I got this position, I had to go get a physical.
What Heather's referring to, the SCBA, is a self-contained breathing apparatus. It's designed to protect your lungs from toxic fumes and particles, and it was what your firefighter would put on before they battle a fire. So you was a driver before you started this, correct?
I was a package car driver, and I actually went full-time, because I started here in 2006, and I actually didn't go full-time till 2018. And about 6 months before I was supposed to top out, this bid came up, and I won it.
Well, great. And are you happy now? Do you like this better than the driving?
Yeah, I really didn't want to be a driver, but with this building, the only way to go full-time is basically to go driving. Every once in a while, there's a couple people that have gotten lucky, because technically these inside jobs are for people, they were originally created for people who didn't want to drive.
Gotcha.
But because this building only goes by full-time seniority, above building seniority, it's much harder to get an inside position as a part-timer.
Gotcha. Well, see, I'm learning things too, because now I was hired off the street. I was an owner-operator for years and worked for another trucking company. So when I got here, I've only been here 9 years, I was totally ignorant how all this worked. And I mean, bless your all's heart, I never realized that people put that much time, part-time, to get a full-time position. And no wonder there's so much animosity within different departments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a built-in factor.
Yeah.
So on a lighter note, how much tape do you usually use?
I mean, if we are really super busy, and if they have a huge jam and all these boxes get destroyed, I can go through a whole roll of tape in an hour.
Oh, wow.
But if it's because I have to rebox stuff. If I have to repackage a bunch of boxes that get smushed,
right,
then yes.
Okay.
But usually every other day or once a day, I'm changing my roll of tape. See, I put this on yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Full roll yesterday.
Oh, hey, so people can't see this. It's almost gone.
Yeah, it's almost gone. Yeah. So it just depends. I mean, some days we're slow and I hardly use any tape, and then some days we are just kicking it, and
I understand.
it's just, or if something leaks and it gets all over these
yeah.
boxes, and then I have to damage all them out and send them back or whatever.
Right.
Sometimes it's feast, sometimes it's famine, sometimes it's a little bit of both.
I understand.
It just depends on the day and how much flow we have and how many people we have in here.
Gotcha.
Fridays can be a little hectic.
Well, Mondays are also hectic.
Mondays are hectic, but Friday everybody doesn't want to be here.
Well,
they want to get in here and they want to get out. So they're going to go quicker. And then when they go quicker, they destroy things because they're trying to go fast.
I understand.
So that's...
Well, on the fun side, outside of work, I mean, do you have any hobbies or anything that you like to do outside of work?
I mean, I read. And my granddaughter.
Awesome.
I'm really an on-stand. I have 3 grown children.
Okay.
But I still am up their butt all the time, texting them and annoying them. And then my son, he has a 3.5-year-old, and she is the light of my life.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
She is the light of my life.
Awesome.
She's fun.
That is awesome.
I never thought I could love somebody more than my children.
Oh, that's so
You know
sweet.
what I mean?
Yeah,
and the kids know it. They know it.
I know.
They're like, we know we're not your favorite anymore, Mom.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, no, you're all my favorite.
I got it. Well, hey, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Well, I
it
think
wasn't
this
as
is
hard
awesome.
as I thought.
Yeah, well, it's painless. It's no big deal.
It
and
is
it's going to be
pretty.
awesome. Well, thanks, Heather. That was so sweet. As a grandparent, I can totally relate. On a lighter note, though, you would not want to see me with a tape gun. I would probably wrap myself up with tape, or if I did succeed in re-wrapping something, I'd be too busy with a self-congratulating moment. I probably wouldn't get anything done. With all that being said, let's move on. Let's keep this moving. Okay, so I'm sitting here with in the belly of the beast, so to speak. Now, with some important people that have really important jobs. That please tell us your name and what your job title is currently now.
Like, my name's Greg. My job is it's kind of called a 22-3 job, but it's a job where it's 2 different jobs, kind of separate. So when I start out tonight, I'm considered a shifter, which I move kind of like what you guys do in the yard. I just move cars, try to get so many cars out of the building so the guys the guys that are still coming in can park. So it's kind of a clustery job. The second half of the night, we do some cleaning on the cars, and then we park the lineup and set it up for the next day.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys are, the package cars that are going out, you guys are washing them as well, and then it just up keeping the image of our company just shining out there all the time, right?
Yeah. Getting them in, getting them unloaded, making sure they get parked in the right spot becomes a priority. And then by the end of the night, we do what we can to get windows cleaned, get them washed, and we do what we can do within the time that we're allotted. Yeah.
Well, just so everybody knows, we play dodge 'em back and forth. Greg, we pass each other all the time because I'm the yard shifter, and when he's shifting, I'm shifting, and we're doing 2 totally different things, but we see a lot of each other every day.
Yeah.
So it all works out. But so how long have you been with the company?
Actually, I started in 1983 as a part-timer, and I think I was about 19, 20 years part-time. And then when these combo jobs came open in 2002, actually they came open in 2000, I think. Not accurate on this, and then I waited a couple years. Some of the other guys went ahead of me. I didn't really know if I wanted to do it or not. But then once I saw that they were going to be pretty decent jobs, I ended up bidding one. I've been full-time about 21 now. 21. So 02 to up to date, I'm full-time.
Okay.
And the rest of the years I'm part-time.
And you pretty much, you like what you do in here?
It's gotten better.
Gotten better?
It's gotten better.
Yeah?
Yeah, as the years go by and what you're good at, what you can do, and obviously there's jobs you can't do anymore as you get older and you want to get out of the load or unload if you can.
No, I haven't been here that long, so you can educate me some. So you said it's gotten better. Are you talking like management-wise and stuff like that, or just the jobs per se, or fill me in here?
It's basically because of, being union jobs are by seniority. Some jobs are better than other jobs.
Oh, I got
So sometimes you may have a job that you may want to do, but you got to wait for somebody to retire to get to it. Just like if you want to be on a certain route, I don't really know how you guys do it.
Right. It
But
is
same
the
thing goes on in here. I mean, there are jobs that are preferred, and you put a little time, and you go, "Hey, man, how about if I can get over here?" You just talk to who you can, but because they pretty much it's still work as directed.
I got you.
I mean, our bid is work as directed car wash, so they still can move, have some flexibility to move you around, but then they try to work with what you're good at.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. And so over your years, though, I mean, management-wise, you think that it's kind of progressed
I
a
mean,
little bit better?
I've done pretty well with most of them.
Okay.
You're always going to have a few that you have problems with, but
Sure.
for the most part, at this point, it's not too bad. I don't have any complaints.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about work-wise?
I don't know.
I mean, well, I think, like I said, why I feel this is so important is everybody has, a job to do, and every person's, what they're doing is just a part of the big machine,
Sure.
so to speak. And everybody's job is important. So it's, I wanted to highlight, because when I first started this, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do the feeder department and whatever.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be all inclusive and just talk to everybody that would talk to me. So, and I do appreciate it. So fun outside of work. What do you like? Any hobbies? Anything?
Well, at my age, I mean, I do a lot of walking.
Okay.
For health, and then pretty much, everything sports. A lot of sports related. I got my kid. I've got 3 kids, so I mean, I'm involved in their lives at times. Do things with them, but as much that's all family related. But other than that, I'm here, like I said, when I'm not on vacation or at a doctor's appointment or something. I'm 5 days a week. I'm pretty much here.
Yeah.
So
Well, super.
that's one of the bad things about nights here. Your weekends are kind of, you're like running to try to get everything done.
Oh, it's hard
But
to change
but I do
that.
like being here as long as I've been here. I do like the jobs better on nights than working the preload or working the morning hours. So that was something I've always kind of stayed away from.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, different strokes for different folks, man.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, really, I appreciate it. I thank you for taking the time of doing this, and we'll get it all worked up and get it on another episode here.
Okay,
I thank you for your time, man.
Okay, man.
Thanks. Hey, Greg, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And by the way, I just have to throw this in here. When we weren't recording, he kind of tried to throw me under the bus, I think, because he referred to age, then he kind of looked at me and was like, well, then he tried to make it better saying our age. But I think he was trying to say that I'm old. Just kidding, buddy. Okay, moving on. If you'd go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about your current position here.
All right, so my name is Jayson Mulvihill. I'm a full-time soup at the West Carrollton facility. Basically, what my job and title is I'm on the outbound, so I take care of loading the trucks, making sure we're getting all the packages in, and making sure we get them shut down so the feeder guys can make sure they can get to where they're going in a timely manner.
Yeah, because I mean, and everybody knows this. We have like an on-time network,
yep.
And that's a challenge, I would imagine,
It is.
because of all the curveballs thrown every day on inbounding equipment, or if there's a delay somewhere, which
Right.
I'm sure your job is challenging because not only are you responsible for that, you have to coordinate it with the feeder department, plus you're overseeing and supervising people as well, which that can be very rewarding or very challenging.
Right, and with Ben being over there, and Jared, me and him, we always have had good relationships. So like, if there's a trailer that's going to be here late, we typically keep it in house and make sure we're getting it done. To letting them know like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get it done no matter what. Like it's like a breakdown and it can get here in a timely fashion. We'll still do it just to make sure it gets done.
Awesome.
That way we don't have to roll anything or stuff like that. It's happened in the past. Now there's been times where the breakdown just they don't get here in time, and it will have to just get it a different the following day.
We're in the transportation business. I've been in this for 40 plus years. I mean, stuff happens beyond people's control, and you just have to deal with it best you can.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I know that we've talked, not recording wise, but we've talked about people.
Having the people will change your job, will change your just the way you work every day. Because if you have the people and that they're trained, your life becomes easy. You're technically just making sure everything's getting done, and especially if you have like good like backups. Like I'm training like a backup for me, like a part-time soup, and knowing that if I'm gone, he's there to take that. And if when you have that and knowing that, you're so much more confident in what people can do, and and actually when you train the people and get them all trained up, I mean it's a night and day ordeal. It runs so smooth, and just making sure they're getting it done, and it helps out all around.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we still experience hiccups, even with the most qualified or whatnot doing each and every job. But like you said, and the communication between. I mean, it takes a collaborated effort to be successful in this business. And and like I said, you're hitting every different direction. And you got to be the spontaneity of it. It's right now. You don't have time to say, okay, time out. Let's take a break and we'll figure this all out. It's no. I need to make a decision and move on.
Right.
And I mean, I can't brag on you guys enough. I mean, because without the inner workings, we're not doing anything. I'm in the feeder department. We're not going anywhere. But I mean, without loaders and unloaders and people sorting and getting things where they need to be properly, you're not going to even have a package division. Nothing's going to get anywhere, and we're going to have very, very unhappy customers.
It's amazing, every kind of like feeders, package, hub, how we all interact in a way, that some people may not see, because it's every day. Package cars, if they get in here late, well, we do what we can do to get them onto the trailer. Anything else, obviously we could have some late hiccups, but you guys have helped us out too. So it's feeders and package, hub, they all work together.
That's awesome. Okay, well, now I know I always like to touch on safety, because safety is very important in anything that you're doing. And you touched on training, and as I see walking through the hub and that, everybody is really on key points and they're trained very well, which keeps a pretty much safe work environment. I mean, we're working around moving parts. There's I don't know how heavy are some of the packages they're handling.
It depends, because we really don't go over 150 pounds, which we've getting some, which we usually send back to the customer and like, look, this is not freight. We're not going to handle that. But like at times I'd say 130 to 150 at most, like E-reg wise. But like some of the loaders, they typically will go from like 10 pounds to 68 pounds, and then anything else usually over that's kind of E-reg.
Well, maybe I misspoke. I mean, I kind of incorporated in safety too, but methods. I mean, the methods are taught how to properly lift, lower, and this,
bend
that,
the knees.
Right,
Make
exactly.
sure you're not just bending over with your back, because one little hiccup, not following the methods, and someone's hurt.
I agree.
Going through that process is not fun.
I agree. Okay, on a lighter note, unless there's something that you want to work-wise, you're new papa again. So
I am.
This is two. Which
This is
congratulations.
two.
This is awesome.
I appreciate that, and that's been a challenge, but it's also been a blessing too, because me and my wife, we have two beautiful girls. Our first one's, her name's Liliana. She'll be 3 this year, and then our second, Lola, she will be 1 in October 12th. So she's 5 months old now.
What a blessing.
It is.
It really, truly is.
And when they say it goes fast, it does. I didn't really believe it. You just like oh yeah, it says it goes fast. But man, it's crazy to know that she's already going to be 3 this year, and Lola's getting some spunk to her. So she's 5 months.
They all have their
own
personalities, which is great. So they express it a lot, I'm sure. Other than the babies, outside work, do you have any hobbies or interests?
I like to work out, and a lot of these guys will make that aware.
He's being really modest. He's pretty buff.
But that's always been something that I've enjoyed my whole life. I've always liked working out, in the way of eating healthy, being healthy. It's helped me with everything. So that's something that I've taken pretty seriously, and I still enjoy doing it, even though you got kids. Sometimes you can't get to
proper diet goes along with that
Oh
too?
my gosh, that's if there's anything to take away from this, proper diet is
Okay, great.
like if you can get that under control, then the rest just comes easy.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add? Because there's one more thing I'm going to add after you're finished, and you go right ahead.
Not too much, yeah.
Not too much?
Yeah.
Hey, it's excellent, and thank you for taking the time to do this. But now this is a dig on Rob, because Rob's had plenty of time to get with me.
Oh, he hasn't.
And he hasn't done this yet.
Rob Burgess.
Isn't that something? And I'm sure this was a very painful experience, though, was it not?
Oh, man, this is
it's so
frightening.
Hey, Jayson, I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely.
And we're
Absolutely.
gonna have a great...
Anytime. And if there's a topic or something else that you want to collab, and I will more than likely do it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, let's roll on. Welcome.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So my name is Etop Udo. Originally, my parents are from Nigeria, but I was born and raised in North Carolina. I've been at UPS for about 5 months. I was hired here, I would say September, October, I'm not sure, but I think it was October. But yeah, so I've been here for about 5 months. I worked as a loader for 2 weeks, and I got promoted to the UPS supervisor.
I was going to say, you've come up very quickly then.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Awesome.
But the funny thing is, I came to UPS just for the insurance, and I didn't really like the loading job because it was hot, and it was just too much for me. But my manager came up to me one day in the trailer and was like, "Hey, do you want to be a supervisor?" I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah, grass a little greener on the other side.
Definitely. So I took that opportunity.
Awesome.
So yeah, as a supervisor, I've been a supervisor for I could say 5 months. Correct. So I've been a supervisor for 5 months. It's good. It's real good. I say the biggest thing about being a supervisor is think ahead, plan ahead. I'm one of the ones that like to come in early, very, very early. I say like 20 minutes early just to see how my belt looks, any packages are left on the floor, any paperwork that I need to do, or even maybe a new hire that's here, just to greet them, say, "Hey, welcome to UPS."
There you go.
So I do that for sure. What else about UPS? I mean, it's great. Like being a supervisor is kind of like being a dad.
Okay.
Or being a coach. I like to say a coach, actually. It's like being a coach. So a coach, you have your players, and every player, every team has their goal. It's either that's winning a game, winning a championship, or successfully getting all the packages into the trailer.
Okay.
So I'm that coach that has that playbook to give to my players so they can get to that goal, which is make sure all the trailers are loaded. But that's how I like to think of my supervisor job.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
awesome. So you're there for everyone to mentor, to kind of take by the hand and say, "Hey, this may be a little easier way to do this," And
I like to lead, it by example for sure.
Absolutely,
it's always hard
to
find.
gain respect that way, buddy. Yeah. That's the only way to get the respect.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You always got to come from a humble ground, and it's how can I put it? You can't really follow somebody that you feel like hasn't really done it before.
I understand. Absolutely.
So it's easy to receive information when you can trust a person. He's done it before, so if he's done it, I can do it too. So that's usually how I like to run my belts.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations for moving up so quickly and being available for people and setting an example, because I think that's what this company is really starving for these days is for people just like you that are going to take the reins and charge on, so to speak. So. Other than work, because I mean you've very eloquently just explained everything that I was going to ask. I didn't have to ask it, which is great. But like outside of work, do you have any interests, hobbies?
Yes, I have a lot actually. I'm a professional photographer.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing photography for like 10 years. So I've done weddings, graduations, concerts, white coat ceremonies. I'm also a graphic designer, so I can make flyers for organizations, and I like to work on cars as well. Yeah, I like to work on cars. So
That's awesome.
I'm not the biggest when it comes to the electrical part. I'm not really the best at, but like the routine maintenance, like the oil changes, the flushing the fluids, brakes, yeah, simple stuff.
Okay.
So I can do that. I like to do that on my free time, and I'm actually in a path to becoming a doctor.
Nice.
Yeah, so I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I graduated 2017 in biology.
Okay.
I was a medical. After that, I did research for a year, and I was a medical assistant for 2 years. I had to leave my medical assistant job because I got accepted to Case Western Reserve at Cleveland, Ohio, for my master's in medical physiology.
Okay.
So I just graduated from that program last year. So what brings me to Dayton, Ohio, is that my girlfriend, which I met her, we've been together for 3 years. I met her in my master's program, and she got into Wright State School of Medicine.
Well, of course you have to follow your
Yeah,
love.
so we settled here. But so right now, I'm actually starting medical school in August. So UPS will have me for another maybe 4 or 5 months. But
wow.
Yeah.
Well, what a great story, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, hey, going back, just what you said at the beginning, I didn't catch it exactly. So you were brought up in North Carolina. Now,
yeah.
But were you born in Nigeria, or was that
no?
Just
So my parents were born and raised in Nigeria.
Okay.
My mom and dad came to the U.S. for more opportunities,
Gotcha.
but this was before I was born.
Before you was born.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
my parents settled here. In their mid-20s, they settled here, and then I was born.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was born and raised in Durham, North Carolina.
Awesome. North Carolina.
Yeah,
I like North Carolina.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yes,
it's warmer.
It's warmer.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you don't have the 80 degrees one day and in the 20s.
The bipolar
and snowing.
weather.
Yes, the bipolar Ohio weather for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
What else would I like to add? Just some words of advice to this goes to anybody. If you have a dream, keep on going for it. Don't let anybody tell you can't do it.
That's wonderful.
One
advice.
foot forward, keep on going.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, yes,
You're
sir.
an awesome guy.
I appreciate that. You
Thanks
are
so
too.
much. Hey, really, I appreciate it. Thank
of
you
course.
so much.
Thanks for the interview.
Thanks, buddy. I know the company is going to be sad to see you leave, but I'm sure they're very proud of being part of your journey. Well, let's keep this thing rolling. I think we got time for one more, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to catch up with a fella here a little later. Unfortunately, the only time he has time to talk to me is when he's working, so I'm not going to interfere with his work, but he can multitask, I'm sure of it. So let's get to that. Okay, here we go. So I'm standing out here and I'm watching, and who am I standing here with? Scott? Scott, how are you, buddy?
Good, brother. How you doing?
You do an excellent job on this. He's actually washing a package car right now as we speak, so I'm not going to get in his way too much, but
Or you'll be wet.
how long have you been here?
In October, it'll be 29 years.
29 years. Now, have you had the same job for 29 years?
Oh, no.
No. Okay, so this is what you're currently doing? You come up through the ranks?
Yes.
Oh, is this a full-time job?
Full-time job.
Awesome. So I'm assuming that you started part-time like many others did here.
Started part-time in 1994.
1994. Awesome. Okay, so you make our fleet look good going down the road. Now, you also have other duties in this job as well. So can you explain basically what you do?
Yeah, I work the local sort, PM sort.
Okay,
Yeah.
PM sort.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're in charge of moving the package cars in and out, washing them, and
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Make sure the lineup's right and
Yeah.
everything's all together. That's
Yep.
that's a good deal. Now, outside of work, I know you're a huge Elvis fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
one of my granddaughters is just a huge Elvis fan. But and we're going to go see an impersonator, obviously, on April 1st. But he's really good.
Okay,
But
yeah.
anyway, just getting back to work. Any encouraging things for people up and coming? Do you still encourage people to come here and
Oh,
start
yeah.
out on their part-time career?
Yeah, because like when I started out in '94, the starting rate was $8. Now it's probably double that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Is there anything else outside of work that you like to do?
Like to exercise, weight train.
Yeah, he's pretty good shape,
Yeah.
guys.
So spend time with my family.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Listen to Elvis.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, hey, listen, I really appreciate you, and I'm not trying to take away from your work time at all. And he is feverishly working as we speak. But you guys do a good job, and a lot of this is just I want to let people know that people do appreciate what everybody does here,
Yeah.
and it's a vital part. Everybody's job here
It goes hand in hand.
goes hand in hand. Absolutely. Well, Scott, I really appreciate it, buddy. You have a good evening, and thank you for taking time to do this.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
See ya. Awesome. Well, there you go. I think Scott said it best there towards the end, working hand in hand. And I think that's really what I wanted to accomplish with this episode, and maybe going forward, speaking with other people, is just make everyone aware how vital that their role is on a day-to-day, and how important their specific task is, and that they are appreciated for what they do. Very seldom in this new corporate world that we're in do people get a lot of praise. There's usually a lot of negativity, which I think we should turn that around. There's always going to be negativity, but let's put a positive spin on it and focus on the positive things. And I think that you would enjoy coming to work more. You could have better relationships with your coworkers that way. Instead of focusing always on the negativity, let's get it back positive. Well, it looks like I've ran over the 30 minutes, but I hope that's okay, and I hope you have found this informative and entertaining. So I'm going to make it a wrap and just tell you, until next time, be safe.